trying to nickel and dime people. Chris, that's not the definition of microtransaction, mate. We'll probably make content after launch that we will sell, but we also don't intend to take what Borderlands was and then chop it up into chunks and sell it. Now, before we get on to Randy's tantrum, I really want to tackle
This one from the top. God damn it.
Okay, as promised, doing another video about the Mortal Kombat release date, street date break footage. So technically it's not leaked footage, it's not early footage. Some people in the UK just got the game earlier than everybody else. The fault was not there, so I am not calling it a leak. But I'm talking about the Jax ending, which is textbook what we used to call problematic. It's not a problem per se in that it doesn't do anything overtly wrong. It's a work of fiction, right? But there are things in it that I can see being issues for a lot of people. In the ending, again, spoilers, Jax goes back and changes history, even though Raiden warns him that if he changes too much, he could lose his wife and daughter. But somehow Jax manages to go back and change history to mean slavery never happened. That's the implication. And yet he still has his wife and daughter back. Happy ending in an Afrocentric utopia where it seems to be a bunch of black people in a Wakandan type setting. And I think there might be one non-black person there. So basically Jax has created apparently a black ethno state.
Yikes.
I shouldn't need to say what's wrong with that. I think it's first and foremost, as a longtime fan of Mortal Kombat, I think that's not
all right. Okay. I mean, that's the only thing I could even think of. But like that was, man, that was rough. Really weird. Not gonna lie to you, I thought that was really rough, weird, and honestly, real dumb. Like, I can't think of how odd it is to take issue with this. Like, one, it's a fantasy, right? Two, it's a perfectly noble fantasy. Three, no fallout that will result as from stopping slavery that I can see would ever be a bad thing. Like, I don't understand how this would ever make you sad or whatever. And then four, there's no indication that it's a fucking ethno state. Right? Like, if I took a picture of myself fucking, in a hood with like, surrounded by majority of fucking black people, that's not, that's not a fucking ethno state. What the fuck? He just happened to be surrounded by he wasn't even that surrounded, right? Like, it looked like a weird, like a city, right? And then I think his girl and his daughter, and they're all like in the West African garb, like, and yeah, it doesn't say anything, at least as far as I know. It doesn't show anything. Nothing that I've noticed. I don't know what non-black person does she think was there. Oh my god, is this bitch so damn stupid? She's so fucking stupid. Oh my god, I gotta see this. Hold on, I gotta make sure, cause this, I gotta. Is it? Hold on. Oh. Yikes.
All I wanted was to fix my life. Now I have the power to fix history. Raiden warns me, I can't fix everything. Change too much and I could lose Vera, lose Jackie. But this power is bigger than us. If I think only about helping myself, what kind of officer am I? What kind of man? I've been lucky. My family and I have lived the American dream. But most people who look like me haven't had that chance. I owe it to them to put things right. And I'm not waiting centuries for people to get woke when I've got the power to speed things up. I don't get it right the first time, or the second, or even the third. But eventually, I knock it out of the damn park. My family's back.
There's actually,
The world's a better
there doesn't
place
appear
for
to be
everyone.
a single
Turns out,
non-black person in this
You can't
picture,
have everything. Anyone who says you can't
like anywhere.
needs to dream bigger.
There's nothing wrong with that. Perfectly passed. Whatever. All right. Whatever. Just a bunch of black people around other black people. Apparently, that means bad. It's bad. Oh shit.
Not Jax. Jax has always been a soldier, an officer. He has served. He has never been racist that way.
It is racist to want to be a black person and want to go back in time and stop slavery. In whose world does that make any fucking sense? Like, even if I take, like, just like the dictionary definition of racism, that's not what racism is. Racism isn't I stop or I want to stop a thing or anything like that. Like, that's not it. That's not what that means. That's not what that means. That makes no sense to me. Like this just doesn't follow. And also, it doesn't really follow that him being a black guy who's like in the military and it was like a cop and all this other stuff, doesn't follow that he doesn't think anything of or think about his race at all. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like that's not how that that's not really how that works. Like at all, really. You can do all types of things in your life. Still be very much so in touch with the blackness. Like that makes no sense that oh, he was in the military and he was a cop. So like he's not thinking about the fact that he's black at all, ever. Which I would argue even still there might be some people who aren't even black who would like to go back in time and stop slavery. So like I don't see how this follows. Like none of this follows to me. Like it's really weird and it shows that this person doesn't really know too many black people or doesn't know them well enough to the point where they will be comfortable enough with her and around her to reveal this kind of like this side of them that really very much so is conscious of and thinks about their race and like and how it affects them socially. Like she doesn't make anyone comfortable in that way if they even are, right? Like most black people I've ever met, I think about it. Is it like all you think about? No. but like it's there, and it would make no sense that it would never occur to a grown ass black man. Huh? I'm black. Like what? This is really weird. Like it's just really weird. Like it's perfectly plausible for somebody with who's been characterized the way that Jax has to want to have that particular kind of fantasy. Really weird. Really weird stuff, dude. When he's a docile Negro, living the American dream, following orders of white people, not asking questions, he's a good boy. When he wants to travel back in time to end slavery, he's a racist piece of shit. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be it.
He has never been a we're going to keep to our own kind type. He's been an overprotective daddy, but
Keep to our own kind. When is he ever? Oh, because this is rooted in the fact that she thinks it's a fucking ethno state. When it says no, it says no such thing.
he's never seemed bitter in that way. And here's the thing about just getting on the time travel thing, okay? You can't go back and make it so that slavery never happened and then keep the people who were the result of slavery happening. We all agree slavery is terrible. I think a lot of people wish that it never happened, but slaves were not immigrants to America.
The fuck do you mean, but? There should be no but. Like, a lot of people wish it didn't happen. There is no but to that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who does this? Why would you, like, oh, man. Like, ugh. No, slavery is terrible, and a lot of people wish that it didn't happen. But, like that, like, dude. Oh, man. Could you believe this lady's like she's half past grown as hell. Like she's like in her 40s. The business like this, her thought process on this whole thing is flat out right. Yeah, pretty much. Let's go. Who is this? Oh, it's scoring. What's up, my dude? It's been a while. RUSJW? Oh, sounds like a weird way to say it, right? Like it's like it's a gang, but I guess. And by that I mean I thoroughly enjoyed the tower ending for Jax Briggs in Mortal Kombat 11. I think it's awesome. It's personally one of my top 3 fantasies, actually. So I guess if that answers your question, you know. And if you don't know what the ending is, it's where is it? It's we can watch it again if you want.
Hey, listen!
Oh, that's cool, man. We all got like time. We all got time periods that we like. We enjoyed what? I didn't ask who enjoyed it. I was just like as of scale. Not a bad movie. But not my dude. So like is this some like authentic chuddery here? Like you think Triumph of the Will and an ending video game cutscene where a black guy goes back in time and stops the transatlantic slave trade, those are the same thing? So according to our buddy Magic Coconut 209, stopping the slave trade, Nazi propaganda, the same thing. They are same. That is the exact same thing. That is just saying I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, sure, but how is that related to what you asked me? Or the discussion of Jax Briggs's ending? Like, it only makes sense in that context if you were attempting to say that they're somewhat similar. Really weird. But all right, man, you enjoy yourself.
America. They were forcibly moved to
I'm
America,
not.
and their descendants, their children and their
Yeah,
children's
exactly.
children are native-born Americans. They are not visitors. They are not guests. They
I don't know. You better tell that shit to all to the police and the fucking legal system. Oh no, my dude. Everything is racist or in favor of racism. A strong national identity. I don't know, my dude. You think, man, that's a little mean to our friends the Krauts, right? Like, you think Hitler had it on point when talking about their national identity? Their national identity is what the Nazis thought? Really? Because Triumph of the Will more so is it's like a glorification of the Third Reich, not necessarily you would of what you would call maybe the German people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of a thing that some people take offense to. Equating being German with being a Nazi. I don't know, man. I ain't German, so I don't know.
are Americans who partake in American culture, and so much of American culture was
Third Reich is intricately connected to Germany and the German country, etc. Ooh, that's I don't know. I've met a few German people online and they don't like that idea. But I mean, okay. Are you German? Also, isn't saying that like right now like aren't like your Nazi advocation like isn't that literally like your Nazi advocacy isn't that like literally illegal in your country? Crazy. I mean, I think the races are the same. You're fucking retarded. Ooh, boys. I don't know, my dude. I feel like that's a bad framing, right? Because you can be like we can be not the same and still be equal, right? Men and women are not the same, but men and women are still equal. You can have difference within like equality, right? That's not literally what we mean. Like everyone is exactly everyone's equivalent. It means how we view them and how we treat them, despite ability to do whatever it is. They are essentially all the same. They're all just human. That's generally how I've understood that concept. But you do what you got to do. I had enough of this. What happened? Oh, did you ban him? I forgot. You're mod here, aren't you? You did, didn't you? Yep. But no, she timed him out. Oh man.
Hey, listen!
Nah, he's not. I mean, I've whatever. Like, right there are little fashy weirdos online. That's him now. Actually, those are too in tune with the global homo clown world. XD. Hong Kong, my dude. Hong Kong. other superior. I mean, yeah, of course. Is used to control you. What do we mean? Divide. I'm not sure. He ain't banned. Oh. I just looked. Okay. Yeah, it says he's been timed out. Was that 5 minutes? I don't know, my dude. Especially since, like, the alt-right is a real deal self-identified memery. And SJW is just like a thing that people call you if your social views are just a little too progressive for their blood. But, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, man. You do what you gotta do. We're never gonna get through this video, are we?
Created by black people, that to go back and make this Afrocentric paradise, I know this is awkward, a white chick talking about this, but I know quite a few black Americans who feel very strongly that they don't want to dress in African costume. They are not African, they are American, damn it. And so they'll do the saggy jeans and the b-boy gear, and they'll buy stuff from, like, you know,
B-boy? What fucking year is this, my dudes? What? Oh god, dude. And it feels really weird. And this person's like, oh. And I bet, I guarantee, like, she swears she's not racist. Talking about, I guess she knows there, because to be fair to her, I have met and known niggas who are just like that, who are very, typically is fueled by African people not being the nicest to us African Americans, but they do have like this very anti-African, like, I'm not them, my own thing, I'm American kind of thingy. And I guess she's saying that, like, you know, those people exist, so, you know, I don't know, we should consider their feelings. I don't even know, I don't understand what's happening here, actually. Why is she bringing those people up? What do they have to do with this discussion? Also, on top of that, they're factually incorrect. Everything that you think that you, like, that we who exist in the diaspora, everything that you think of as black is rooted in some African shit. Just period. There is no two fucking ways about it, okay? Fucking, like, everything. Like, every single piece of music that's come out of either America, Jamaica, Trinidad, fucking Dominican Republic, parts of Mexico, all based in West African drum rhythm. Fuck, the way that we dance. Like, what the fuck? Like, Firkin is as fucking African, as West African as it fucking gets. Like, are you serious? My dude. Like, they're just wrong. So, like, factually. So, like, I don't give a fuck about their feelings in the first place. I understand that there's, like, there are cultural differences definitely between a modern day black American and a modern African. Or even a fucking, you know, black Caribbean person or anywhere. But, like, the idea that I'm not African, I'm American,
Hey,
damn it.
listen.
They're just factually incorrect. Which makes me like, no, who gives a shit what they got to say? Blocked him? You want me to unblock? I didn't block him. You can unblock him though if you want. She's fucking stupid. There's a connection culturally. Yeah, like exactly. Like what? like what was that, like 500 years ago? That's nowhere near long enough of a time to be that like disparate in terms of cultural connection. Like we haven't branched out and evolved that far like off enough. And honestly, we probably will never lose those influences now. Those people come over to America, and more and more of the internet and all that stuff puts us in contact with Africans and everyone else. Well, there's this kind of weird thing that there are things that American blacks do that it feels like now just the rest of the diaspora just does them. But also there are stuff that people in the Caribbean and people in continental Africa do that American blacks just like rip right the fuck off. And I'm like, and I don't know. I don't know. Some people are like, oh, that's fucked up. Some people are like, no, that's their roots. It's the least you could do. I don't like. I don't know. I'm not getting involved with that. All I know is I don't wear the shakies. I don't do none of that. Don't seem right to me. Canadian populist part. Slavery never happened. All right. I don't know what that was about, but welcome aboard, Canadian populist left. Not sure. Wait, so how do you know about this video? Are you from Hasanabi's chat or what? What happened? We've been not watching or listening to anything so long that the fucking headset is trying to auto.
Diddy and Jay-Z and Kanye. But that's their culture. They see the African experience as a foreign culture. And
do they though? Do they? Yeah, I watched Hasan, but I saw it on YouTube. I mean, just like it just popped up and you relate it. Yeah, I found out about this through Hasan's thing, but then everyone was saying that he took it out of context, even people who watch him. So I'm like, you know what? Let's have a look see over it. You know, let's do that. Called it Minecraft. Honk honk. Ooh shit. Clown World is not a dog whistle, guys. Girl talking to though. Black people or white people? She's just giving her what she thought of the tower ending in general. Like these are just I don't know. It's like a weird stream of consciousness. Cause the way she's talking, it doesn't seem like it's scripted.
I mean, Wakanda itself is not the result of slavery never happening. Wakanda is an African country, fictional, who wasn't affected by slavery, so they became this powerhouse in this fictional universe. And so the whole thing just seems to really not understand the history, how influential Black Americans have been and why it matters. I mean, without Black people, our music's completely different. Our popular dances are completely different. Our television now is completely different. And none of that happened if they didn't pick themselves up after not just slavery, but Jim Crow and redlining. Slavery isn't the only bad thing that America ever did to Black people. And I think that this ending with its Afrocentric twists of someone who is not African, like Wakandans are, but is American, I can see people having a problem with that. Now, I'm saying...
I mean, maybe. I mean, I did see some people of certain African country descents kind of being a little eek about the fact that almost the entire cast of Black Panther is a bunch of Black Americans and a couple Black Brits and like a bunch of other people who just were born and lived outside of continental Africa. It's I don't know. It's a discussion to be had. It's not mine. But for the most part, like no one really objects to this. Nobody cares. Also, by this logic, if he went back and stopped it and they ended up just staying in Africa, if Jax changed the timeline to make it so that he and every black person, other black person, or whatever, wasn't affected and we stayed in Africa, we would in fact still be African. Like, you're taking this so seriously to the point where you're doing this and like you're analyzing it, but you're not even following its own internal logic. If you want to do off its internal logic and then try to go bring it back into the real world, okay, then let's do that. If he did what he did and he was successful, he wouldn't be American at all. We'd still be African. That's how that would work. You can't have it both ways. You can't say it's someone who isn't African. Yes, he is now because he changed the fucking timeline. Weird. Really weird. And for the rest of it, my dude, hip hop, Diddy, Blackish, Moonlight, just think all the cool black people shit, okay? None of it is worth the suffering that fucking happened during slavery. None of it. I would give all of it up. Everything. My family, everything I have. Everything to prevent that shit from happening. I don't even care if that in that alternate timeline we all died fucking stupid, shitty, horrible deaths. Whatever the fuck, just like the elements. I don't care. No, it's not. No, none of it was ever worth it. Terrible. Like what? Like what is the reasoning here that like so he stopped slavery and that's problematic because him stopping slavery would stop this music ever getting made and some TV shows wouldn't be on TV and stuff. I don't understand why this is bad in her view. And I don't understand why you would care. Like, why would you want to trade, like, that much fucking suffer, like, this much fucking suffering? Like, this, like, fucking this much fucking suffering for this much fucking influence. Like, we're influential as shit, but, like, we're not like that's like comparatively like this much fucking suffering, like fucking suffering that has come to define a people centuries later is worth it because music and movies or whatever. And this is only her view. She didn't mention like inventors or scientists or whoever that are black for whatever reason. So I'm just going off of what she said. But full disclosure, all cards on the table. I don't give a fuck. I trade everyone. Fucking Frederick, Malcolm, Martin, Rosa, the dark-skinned lady who actually was the first one to not give up her seat on a public transportation, but we didn't go with her because colorism. Garvey, all of them. Banneker, Carver, Booker T, Du Bois, all of them. Trade them all. Every single one of them. Tubman, her too. All of them. I trade all of them to never have to not have that. To not have that heritage. To not have that be the timeline. I have no idea how this is any way a thing that would be controversial or a thing that anyone would object to saying. Like, what the fuck? Nothing that black people have is worth what our ancestors went through. Period. Like, at all. Like, I have no idea what she's attempting to get at. It makes no sense to me. Like, I am, my head hurts. Look at LOL. Yup. Jack's woke ending and what? Oh, Mortal Kombat 11. My bad. Is a barbarous relic. That'd be like that, boy. Is there a relic? I don't know. It's still around, so I don't think he qualifies as a relic, though. What we got? I just say anything positive for black people. All this is to talk about in the world today. Upset with a fictional ending in a video game. All but ending slavery make her upset. I don't know. And she seems to be using some kind of like some sort of weird reading where her argument is that Jax made an ethno state when he stopped it or whatever, because in his ending epilogue picture thing, there's nothing but like black people around him, which is interesting to say the least. But yeah, that's like one. And then the next one is this one we've been hammering home for basically the rest it seems like the second half of this video. We're talking about how all the cool shit that blacks have done wouldn't have happened if slavery never happened. So, you gotta be careful, boys, when you're going back in time in your video, cause you might change the timeline and we don't get Millie Rock on any block. As you gotta think about that. The next time you thought, you know what? I really wish slavery didn't happen. When you had that thought, you remember. If it wasn't for slavery, you wouldn't be able to Millie Rock on any block. Nor would you be able to dab. I think about these things. You don't need Twitch trying to ban because of your comments. What are we talking about? Oh, the other guy? No, you don't get well, no. Twitch will hold you responsible for what people say on your channel if they go over to somebody else's shit from your channel and say, like, if Twitch sees that their account is following you and they seem to spend a certain amount of time in your channel, Twitch's TOS does hold you responsible for that targeted harassment. Look at it. Exactly. Color was a mistake. Bruh, it is. And for me, it makes no damn sense. It makes no damn sense among niggas, because, like, the niggas, just about everywhere we go, we're the darkest motherfucker there. Like, I'm light skinned and I go around people who aren't black. I'm typically the darkest person in the fucking room. It's so weird to, like, sit around, like, amongst each other comparing skin. Like, how insecure are you, my dude? And slavery, even if they think they aren't African. True. Sorry, just popped in. It happens, man. It's okay. What we're here for. Don't know what we're talking about. It happens. We're talking about Jax's tower ending. He goes back in time and he he stops the slavery because it's the right thing to do, and it's probably a little special to his heart because Jax is black man. So that's like the big thing, and it seems to have made some people upset because I still don't know why they're upset about it. Like almost every reason I give just doesn't make any sense to me. Like there's one, it's out of character. He's like a soldier dude. Why would he care about whatever? I'm like, okay, even if you're a soldier guy, you're still a black soldier guy, so you might, be kind of concerned about that whole black thing because you're still doing that whole black thing, even if you're a soldier or whatever. Yeah, weird. You don't get the Millie Rock on any black. No, I like my. It's dope. Oh, you mean that apologist with a Patreon? Apologist? What does she do? Is she apologist for who? Okay, well, he's good now.
I'm not in a place to judge it because
What does she do now?
I don't have those sensitivities. I shouldn't say sensitivities. I don't have that lived experience. That's not my story they're telling. But I do know people who feel extremely strongly that
Hold on. The whole premise of this first argument is not really her talking about from herself. She's saying what she thinks. People who she's talked to who say they have a strong attachment to their identity as a black American, with extreme emphasis on the American part. She's standing up for them. Okay, so I already went over earlier about how if you're black and from America and you have a really big hard on for the fact that you're American, culturally, I'm sorry, but a lot of stuff about you is pretty fucking African, especially almost all the stuff that we like the most. It's pretty African. Every single music genre that we've pioneered or transformed or whatever is rooted in African music. So like, no, just no, you're just wrong. I'm sorry. So like, those people are just categorically wrong and probably a little bit xenophobic. I'm gonna lie to you. And no, you don't need to listen to their weird feelers. Their feelers are dumb. They're dumb and they're stupid, and you're dumb. And why is it that you like? Oh, I don't know. I don't have a lived experience. Okay, then why are you speaking hypothetically for them? We're not even getting a verbatim what they would say. We're getting what Lana thinks they would say to this ending, right? Like, we're getting what Lana thinks they would say. We don't even know what these fucking people would say. We're getting what she thinks they would say. I have no idea, honestly, now with that in perspective, like really like thinking about it in that context, I have no idea why this video even exists.
It's different up here because our black people in Canada, most of them are immigrants. They came here willingly, whether that was via, the Underground Railroad back in the day, or whether it's, more modern immigrants from places like Jamaica or Kenya. Now, of course, black people are in Jamaica because of the slave trade too, but Kenya, Somalia, places like that directly from there, they don't have the same history of slavery.
Okay, so Somalia is in East Africa, and they quite literally had nothing to do with the history and whatever in regards to the transatlantic slave trade, and nor did Kenya. What the fuck is this person just naming random African countries?
It's different up here, so you do see the more Afrocentric dress. But down in America, I understand. I've had friends that went down there and they dress the way people dress in Canada, and Americans are like, why are you dressing in that costume? Dress American. And she had to assimilate because of that. She couldn't wear the wooden jewelry or the Afrocentric stuff. There's a real sense of pride in America about Black contributions to the American experience. It is their country. And this is just so weird to me on that scale. It really seems tone deaf. It seems like, because I mean, let's face it, the development team at NetherRealms is also majority white. Perhaps this wasn't the best idea. Like,
so what? You think your take is better than theirs? Because I don't know a single Black person who is upset at this ending. In fact, they quite literally tapped right into what my time travel fantasy is. So I'm gonna say they knocked it out of the park. And you and whoever the fuck whose opinion you're referencing are way off base and very out of touch with Black America.
it really makes Jax out to be kind of scary and evil too. Like the the humility of him just wanting to fix his family, and that's all he really cares about, and he just wants to protect his. I think that's something that everybody can get behind. That seems noble in a working man's kind of way. For him to take that power and fix everything else for everyone else, people who
Working man? You mean he had a goal, a thing that he had a particular arc and a person and a part of him that could be divorced from Blackness so that you as a white person could more easily relate. That's not a Jax problem. That's not a Black people problem. That's a you problem, Lana. That's anyone who's upset at this problem. That's your problem. The fact that you can't relate to the Black plight or even sympathize at all is a you problem, not a us. They hit it out of the park. A lot of fucking Black people are perfectly okay with the ending, and barely not really that racist fucking white people are okay with it, and just about almost everyone in between is like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's a African American with time travel powers. Of course he'd do that. Almost like some people think honestly that it's fucking. It just seems like a logical conclusion.
Hey, listen.
That African American plus godlike time travel powers equals prevention of slavery. Like it just makes sense. It just seems right to almost everyone. Except you fucking weirdos that need the clicks and the views for your fucking platform. That's the only I can think of, because there's no way, there's nothing objectionable here. Nothing. You have to construct the idea that it was a fucking ethno state. There's nothing that says that. You have to construct the idea that he's evil somehow for changing this thing. We'll let her finish that, but I think and you had to construct this weird spin us a yarn based on what some other random Black people that you know who are American are really fucking big America, fuck yeah, kind of Black people, which I don't think are real, but I'll approach it in good faith and say they probably are. There's, blacks are not a monolith. We're not a monolith. We're not a monolith. We're not a monolith. But you like spin us a yarn based on things that they told you, and you feel like this is how they will react, and it's just like it just seems like this video was just made just because it would get seen. Like that's what it feels like. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Damn.
Who have not been as lucky as him, as he says. Did he ask them if they wanted it changed? Did he ask them if they wanted to dress that way? Did he ask them if he wanted their experience changed or if they just wanted things to be better for them now? No, he didn't, which makes him a tyrant. Because one person of any race cannot decide for that entire race who they want to be. That's the worst kind of collectivism.
Ooh, shit. Okay, so no. In this timeline, people were enslaved, and now whatever, and that sort of haunts our culture and experiences to this day. This guy says, hey, I'm gonna go and fucking change that. Anyone who tells him no, don't, can fuck right the fuck off. Fuck their feelers. No. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not tyranny. He's not imposing. Even if everyone objected, he would still be right. To me, anyway. Because from a utilitarian perspective, he would be maximizing the amount of pleasure while minimizing the amount of harm. So regardless of what these people fucking wanted, he'd be in the right as far as I'm concerned. And then the second thing is just bring it on back to the real world, since we're giving the real world implications throughout this video. Hold on a second. My eye. What he did with his time travel powers is not too far away from what a lot of African Americans would do. I have no idea why you think this. I guarantee you, if the people that you're talking about or whatever are real, they are the minority of people. They're the minority of African Americans. Most people that are black that are aware of this fucking ending are like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's what the fuck I would do, is the general response. I don't know what the fuck is up with you and why you think that these couple of people you know fucking like matter, but it comes down to how this thing should be depicted. Like, well, what about the people who are kind of, they're kind of jazzed about that whole slavery thing? Like, dude, no, fuck you and fuck them. They can go be slaves if they want, but no, dude, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not letting fucking a minority of people dictate how everything goes for the group. Fuck that, dude. What? No way. That's fucking, like, that's anti-democratic. Like, the majority of people would want it this way. But, oh, what about these couple of fuckers who want to do this one stupid thing? Shouldn't we really be looking out for them? No! Fuck those dudes. They're fucking stupid. No. This is dumb. This is so stupid. Not to mention that this is a fantasy anyway. None of this has happened. None of its implications are bad. Like, none of it. This is one great big nothing burger, and it's crazy. I feel so stupid even talking about it. I first watched this video on this channel, Hasan Piker, and I thought, because when he watched it at like, I don't know, like times 2 or times 1.25, something like that. So and people are saying he took it out of context or he did this and did that. So I wanted to, find a day, whatever. We'll just go through it. This fucker is just as fucking dumb as everyone in the comments as fucking Hasan was just saying. What the fuck? Maybe we should keep slavery in the timeline because some people are pretty jazzed about the whole Black American identity meme, or some people, or we wouldn't have jazz to begin with, or whatever. It's dude, what the fuck? How are these arguments? How are these concerns or even criticisms? Who the fuck cares? We're talking about untold suffering, rapes, in murders, separations of family, the owning and selling and trading and renting out of literal human beings. And you're worried about what some stupid fucker who likes to wave his fucking American flags is thinking about this? Why? I don't understand this. In any other context, someone like Lana, who identifies as being kind of left-leaning, wouldn't give two shits about what some dickhead with a heavily nationalistically ingrained identity thought about anything. But now because they're Black, and I guess their perspective lines up with what she wants / needs to say in this video, now they matter? I don't. Right? Because isn't that generally the thing on the left? Patriotism dumb? I'm confused.
Wipes out individuality.
Okay, I'm fine. I wouldn't stop it from happening. I just ended then enslave all the creative fun culture. Since she loves the concept so much. We broke each other's spines and still breathe. Nothing happened. Who gives a shit? Who even complain, play the game at all? You know what? No, she did not play Mortal Kombat 11. She said in another video on her channel over a month ago, before it even released, that she wasn't gonna buy it. And a lot of people who made these same kind of videos, they made videos or videos after their videos complaining about this shit, saying that they weren't gonna buy this game anyway. So yeah, it's guaranteed that a lot of these motherfuckers did not even play it. It makes it even fucking stupider. It completely, it's nothing. It doesn't harm you or anything at all. Literally. Nothing bad happens here. You're not harmed by it or fucking whatever. You don't even get to be annoyed by it because you didn't even play it. I don't understand this.
He's telling people what paradise is. He's telling people what's going to make them happy, and everything's better for everyone in this Jackson Briggs's paradise. That's scary. Jax has become a villain. That's scary. Anybody who's read any sort of dystopian anything knows where that goes. Because there always has to be an underclass. There always has to be somebody who's a have-not when you make a particular thing dominant.
You have no idea if his society is one of Black supremacy or whatever. You have no idea about that. You have no idea. Nothing in that fucking ending says that. Nothing in the ending dictates that is in fact how it happened. That's not what happened. I'm gonna complain about my neighbor's porn collection, which I'm never gonna watch. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, But you remember, if you ever try to confront them about how triggered they are, they're not triggered, by the way, okay? You know what's really, really funny is stuff like this, they'll get all fucking triggered and all pissed off about this and still try to play the whole card that fucking the SOWs are worse because I don't know. At least we get triggered at actual things that matter. Sexism or racism, whether it be founded or not, is a perfectly valid thing to get triggered about. Ableism and transphobia, same thing. Fucking Donald Trump, same thing. He's a pretty fucked guy with a fuck ton of power that he should have never been handed, honestly. It's a perfectly reasonable reaction to be triggered by that reality, you know. But, you know, we're wrong. The real outrage, Mortal Kombat ending. About a black guy stopping slavery. And it's really good that people like her make these videos to let us know.
So it's terrifying, and I'm sure people accuse me of being a racist or appropriating or all that stuff.
So I guess the next time I see a white person being stabbed, I shouldn't assume whether or not they like that. This is dissent, right? Right? Like, oh, what did you ask them if they want to be enslaved or not? Did you ask these people whether or not they want to be descendants of fucking slaves? A thing that we see in the data markedly makes your life harder. Even if you do all the things right? You don't have a kid before this time. You have a kid, you know, stay together. Ideally get married or whatever. Go to this school or whatever and take up this kind of degree. Blah 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 blah. All the memes we all seen the Ben Shapiro videos, okay? Even when you're black and you do all of that, you're still fucked compared to your white peers. And actually compared to a lot of your other race of people's peers. You are still fucked. Like statistically, you are still fucked. But no, we wouldn't want to stop that, you know. Cause you know, that Soldier Boy and his little jig, I sure do enjoy that. Wouldn't want to stop untold suffering in the past that informs the untold suffering here in the present. Oh man. Wouldn't want to stop that. Not when Soldier Boy is up in this hoe. I love the one.
I've made it pretty clear. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to speak for people. I'm just trying to point out that there is more than one black experience around the world and in America and in specific cities and in specific neighborhoods. All black people do not want the same things. They do not think the same things. It's not a hive mind. And to think that one man can determine what is going to make an entire people happy, that's not heroism. It's just malignant narcissism. So they kind of ruin Jax, which is really disappointing because Jax, going back, has been one of my favorite recurring characters. I've always really liked him. And I thought his relationship with Jackie in the last game was kind of cool. Like, I liked what they were doing with him, and then they do this. It's depressing, isn't it? That we're at this point. That
Well, there's more than one experience when it comes to being a person who's being stabbed. Some people are just really into that, you know. It's a part of their kink. You walk by, you see a guy being fucking shanked. Don't assume that he's being brutally murdered, okay? That might just be some fucking knife play, you know. Just, you know, let the lads carry on. Let them have their fun. Don't get involved. That would be malignant narcissism. Remember that, folks. Know what else? If you see someone about to commit suicide, stopping them, saving their life, is actually malignant narcissism. And is evil and is tyranny and is insert another word that would trigger somebody who is a Tea Partier. Funniest SJW autism for me is the rape lay thing. Jack's favorite recurring bullshit. I wouldn't be like surprised. I mean, it's not like, oh yeah, that's not like Jax really had that much of a personality in the game. Actually, I'm thinking about it. They don't make them happy. That makes you evil, apparently. Yeah, man. Yeah, tell those fucking firefighters, dude. Man, get the fuck out of here with your fucking malignant narcissism. How do you know that that guy doesn't actually want to burn to death in that fucking building? Huh? Put him down. Put him down. Turn him over. Ask him, sir, would you like to be dragged out of this burning building, saving your life? You gotta find out about these things. You gotta know. You can't just drag people out of burning. Just because shit, we could just go for like recent like historical things, right? Like fucking Martin Luther King. You could say, oh, yo, what the fuck? What a piece of shit. What? So you think that your dream is like the one, the dream, the thing that we should all be fucking working towards, the one that we should foist on all the other Black Americans? What about the Black people who don't even want to integrate with white people, huh? How is that fair to them? I can do it too, and it's still just as stupid. God damn it. This video's almost over, though.
Instead of it just being silly, this kind of content's being put in, and it's uncomfortable, and it's awkward, and I really wish they hadn't. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll wrap it there, because like I said, trying to keep things to 10 minutes. Help support this channel, become a month.
All right, we're done with that. Anyway, what's rape play? What the fuck is rape play? It looks like it's some shit about, what is it, like some weird ass game where the object is there are weird ass anti-flash games about that too. Game where you rape people. Yeah, man, looks like it. Everyone knew rape was bad. I mean, I don't know. I don't think though. I mean, apparently, R. Kelly doesn't know that it's bad. Either does Roman Polanski. Yeah, nor does Woody Allen. Yeah, a lot of people. What's on? Oh, it doesn't matter. Stop playing. Oh shit, boys. There is no rape culture, but sometimes when you're raped, especially if you're a chick, people definitely do use what's available in terms of your sexual history against you in court. And it's technically not illegal anywhere either. Like, if you're a chick who's unironically, like, in your private life, partaken in like a gangbang, but then at some point in your life, like you're raped or something. If people know about that, and there's some way that like they can get a hold of something in regards to that and discovery or something, they can technically present it, whatever, try to use it to weaken your fucking case. Like, I have no idea why that is not fucking like no, not a not a rape culture though. That shit like that tactic is perfectly legal. Not a rape culture though. No enabling of rapists here. Oof. That's true. Like, yeah, that's man, that's real crazy. And they also can use stuff like say if you're like a gay dude and you say like somebody anally raped you. Well, they can use the fact that you are gay and if you likely like have anal sex or whatever um, of that and use that as a point of attack to say like, well, has so much consensual anal sex. Who's to say blah 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 blah, and now there's just or whatever. Maybe there's some kind of miscommunication, but I don't think that one could say that my client raped. I don't know, Schmidt. Like, it's pretty fucking scummy what they can fucking do. It's so scummy. And the whole what was the bitch wearing thing is wow. Talking W Shedden and calling him oof boys. Ooh, fucking over. Anyway, yeah, the fucking what was the bitch wearing thing? Like that's also like a tactic, a line of questioning that can be pursued in court, which I don't know how or why, like why, but okay, like just man, a lot. It's a lot. This is stupid. I mean, yeah. I mean, all that. I mean, perfectly honest, like almost like just about all every excuse for all like every just about everything is honestly. The fucking I didn't know how old they were. What was she wearing? I was drunk. I was high. We were both pretty drunk. Blah blah blah, sort of thing. Like just about all that shit's pretty fucking stupid. All of it's always just either it's either bullshit or or for whatever reason a thing that you could have prevented. Like the age thing is a thing you can prevent just by quite honestly asking the right questions. Like there are certain things that, like, if I pull some little fucking 16 or 17-year-old in my fucking crib here and try and, you know, fucking perv on her, it'd be pretty obvious very quickly how old she actually is if she lied to me. If I actually just sat down and actually sat there and talked to the chick. And the same thing would happen if it was like a little boy. For the most part, it would be pretty easy to tell. Pretty weird. Yeah. For anyone to really to fall for that, that's just like, I'm an irresponsible dumbass. Which I'm not sure. I mean, you don't go to jail for the same amount of time for a statutory anyway. So like, you know, not unless you can be proven to have known the particular age, right? So unless they can prove even if you didn't know, in most states, it's quite literally not a defense. So you might be able, if you got a decent lawyer, you can use that and knock it down quite a bit. But you still, just about everyone who is sexually active, you know, as an adult, should actually know that part, like off rip. Statutory, if you commit it, even in ignorance, is statutory, and you very likely will be going on a list and seeing the inside of a cell. Inexcusable, yeah. But I feel like sometimes when people say we're both drunk, I don't know, because it feels like, I don't know. I don't know. It feels weird because I've never really been around or seen nobody who, when you get drunk, y'all equally is drunk. Like, it feels like almost everybody, there's always somebody who's a little more in control of their shit. And sometimes, like, they're kind of leading a situation. Whether even if you're just hanging out, right? There's like, we're all drunk, but there's like this one dude who's a little more on his shit than the rest of us. Like, oh, bro, nigga, we going this way, nigga. We finna go, right? Still kind of just like hurting all of us irresponsible idiots, like down the street or over to the Uber, while also being shit faced himself. And I feel like if you're that person and you fuck somebody who's like so sloppy like that, I feel like you're kind of scummy. But being scummy is not the same thing as being deserving of jail. Like, I don't know. But what if they were the same? I don't know. I guess it does deserve a little slight. Yeah, that's a case by case one. Because I don't even, how would you even verify that one also? Which I don't even like. I don't like that one as well because like it's unverifiable, right? Like, if by the time all this stuff gets to court, everything is long done over with, right? We have no way to test these people's blood alcohol levels to try and get a read on how drunk they both were at the same time. Most people don't, have all these conversations or whatever's and out in the open, even when they're drunk. So like, there's like, witnesses. It's just, oh, dude, the doozy. Weird. Mm. But I like the general modus operandi. Drugs, alcohol, sex. Outside of very niche situations where you are very intimately familiar with this person, like in a very long term committed thing, and you've both agreed to do this and blah 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 blah. Don't do it because the outcomes are not worth it. right? Especially in like in more certain like liberal states, like now it's just if you're like past a certain level of drunk, you just it's rape to fuck you, even if you scream "fuck yeah, fuck me" top of your lungs. So like, yeah, a mix of two. Got a really good, solid base to say that this person is probably not on. It's all consensual. Whether or not if the guy was drinking or seemed he was knocked out drunk. Well, drunk. I mean, it's essentially like right. It's essentially like a drinking and driving law, but except it's for fucking. But to be fair, typically the level of drunkenness to say that like oh no, the cutoff point, this is rape, is much higher than for like getting in a car. Like even one single drink is enough to say nope, nope, no stop pass go, you go to jail, DUI, mark all over your license, give us several $100 to get your car back, stupid, blah blah blah. So like I don't know. That is a big oof. I should probably take this off the screen. Why are we looking at? I'm not weird. You're weird. There we go. There's that video. Let's see. Let's watch another one where someone's. Good. Well, let's do this one because it's short. Fuck that. Ernest Newsstand. Nice.
Hey guys,
is that another chick?
Tristan with Nerdettes Newsstand, and this came out today. I had no intention on making a video today, but this was, you know what? I'm not even gonna say a word. I'm gonna let you watch this tower ending and then judge for yourself. So if you don't want to see it because the game is not out, this is Jack's tower. That's very fair. It shows the slavery picture. Things up. Says it takes multiple times to get it right, but finally he created this utopia for Black lives. He created this Wakanda-like utopia. There are, in the final picture of him and Jackie and Vera, there are no other culture, no other races, no other people besides Black people in this picture. Oh boy, this is, I saw this coming a mile away back in January when we sort of got the desexualization of females, and I've talked about that plenty, so I'm not going to now, but I saw this coming, unfortunately so. I knew once they started pandering to one audience, they were going to do it to the whole bunch. And unfortunately, that is exactly what they have done. And, it's unfortunate because white men were not the only people in history to have slaves, but that doesn't affect him, so he doesn't change that. He only changed.
What the fuck does this have to do with anything? Like what? Just because? Of course he's gonna go after the thing that fucking affects his life directly. Of course that's the thing that he's thinking of. Are you constantly, every time you're having any sort of personal issue or anything that affects you, constantly thinking about and comparing, contrasting your life and problems to everyone else? Are you constantly going, oh, well, there's some kid in India starving. Maybe I shouldn't be such a little bitch. No, apparently not. Of course not. Or she wouldn't have made this stupid fucking video, right? Right. Fuck out of here.
changes slavery when it comes to black men, and there's been white men as slaves before in history. So I don't understand this rewriting of history. It would only possibly change, his outcome. And what exactly, if this was even really done?
It wouldn't just only change his outcome. It literally would change the outcome of every black person on Earth. And that would also probably change white society quite a bit as well. Not really. I guess they just continue fighting with each other, I guess. Which, as a black dude, ain't my problem.
I mean, I know it's a video game, and
Exactly.
I've discredited realism so much, but how much would it change history? It would completely change the world, and how much would he be destroying? I don't think they get that. I did see, okay, so the video I'm playing.
How much would he be destroying? Anything that has been built up and put together on the backs of black slaves that would be undone or destroyed or not exist because of what Jax did deserves to not exist. Fuck things and lives and institutions and people who exist and are sustained by the blood and suffering and death of innocent people. Fuck that. Fuck you.
I'm going to link it in the description if you want to see the tower ending again. It was put online by Lost Ambush, who had to disable their content or comments because there was the ratio is bad. Like, the ratio is my Frost video bad, which is so bad. He had to disable them because people were just going back and forth as far as racism this and racist comment that. Like, it was I've seen some of it, and yeah, you just ignore it. But I think this is ridiculous, and it's unfortunate. I think one angry gamer said it best. He said, "It's almost like some ignorant, racist, regressive liberal wrote that ending." I think he's onto something. But that's to be expected, since SJWs are literally the most racist people on the planet. Yeah, but their acceptance and inclusion and diversity is all up to them. But sure, whatever they say. It definitely seems like NetherRealm took a very pro-military, pro-family, pro-ethics soldier like Jax, who was a by-the-books commander. Like, literally, every single game we've seen, he has been a stand-up guy. They turned him into a bleeding heart symbol of regressive liberalism. It doesn't seem to fit with the continuity or consistency for the way that the character has been portrayed in the previous incarnations of NetherRealm, of Mortal Kombat, and that's absolutely right. And it's not the first time I've seen it.
It does. Okay, so here's the thing that there's been like a silver bullet that I've been kind of saving. None of that shit fucking matters, you dumbasses. Mortal Kombat 9 rebooted the fucking series. Okay? So, this Jax is not necessarily the completely raceless Jax that we came to know and love from previous incarnations. This is literally Reboot Jax. And Reboot Jax seems to, I don't know, be concerned about the endless stuff, the horrible and almost endless suffering of his ancestors and people who belong to his particular racial caste. So yeah, there you go. Don't like it? Kill yourself, or don't play the game. Whichever one is easier for you to do. Fine, it's up to you.
They seem to be doing this like weird retconning or changing of characters. Instead of making a brand new character, they just change it. Like, it doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form to me, but neither does liberalism. So I guess whatever. NetherRealm decided to throw away his past characterizations in order to preach their wokeness, further diminishing the integrity of Mortal Kombat brand in favor of proselytizing to the masses. Like, oh.
The Mortal Kombat brand? The Mortal Kombat brand seems to have always been pissing off a lot of people, honestly. So, like, if anything, mission accomplished, because they pissed you off real bad.
Oh God. And you know what? To be fair, I have seen a couple other endings. And I keep hoping that this is not going to be an issue within the game as much as it's seeming to be an issue. So I have seen some of the other ones. I've seen Jackie. I've seen Sonya, which I couldn't even tell it was Sonya because Ronda Rousey's voice acting is atrocious. But they have not had any politics within them. So that's a good sign. Maybe we're just getting...
Yikesy, boys. Changing fucking slavery from happening is... Oh, that's the politics. That's the political. shit is so fucked that saying that, man, wouldn't it be cool if slavery never happened, is like a highly like political partisan ass issue. That is like a weird thing that I don't know most people that I would ever talk to was like, hell yeah, I'd stop it if I could. What kind of question is that? Like, regardless of their race, but man, but for these dudes, oh man, it's a real, it's that one's it's a tough issue, man. It's squirmy. It's a fighter. Whew. You know, gotta. Oh man, can't say which one's better. What's the better choice there? I don't know.
An unfortunate small amount. I don't know. I'm curious to see exactly how this will play out. I think this one is absolutely disgusting. Like, this was so unneeded. Like, who approved this? What is wrong with you and why did you approve this? I really don't get it. I get it. They're looking probably towards the Black Lives Matter move. And, okay, fine. But did you have to be so preachy? Did you have to include this? Did you have to retcon almost?
What does Black Lives Matter have to do with a fucking black person going back in time and stopping slavery? If he did that, there'd be no fucking Black Lives Matter because there'd be no fucking black people in America. What the fuck are you talking about? This doesn't make any sense. Black Lives Matter is about fucking cops being dickheads to black people, not slavery. What? What does that mean? These people are so goddamn stupid.
A character that was so well stood, supported his wife, supported his daughter, was a stand-up military background guy, and make him just this bleeding heart liberal that only cares about black lives. Like, that's not.
When did that happen? Why? What? When did he become a bleeding heart liberal? Like, that's fucking stupid. And he doesn't have to be. There are black conservatives who would be like, yeah, I'd stop slavery if I could, honestly. Like, this is just stupid. Like, this is so fucking dumb. Oh my god. Nuke gamers. They were a mistake.
His character, he would care about all lives, or he wouldn't have done Mortal Kombat for Earthrealm to begin with. That's why none of this makes sense to me, because, it makes no sense with the character. So let me know what you guys think. I am going to try to find the rest of these tower endings to see if, hopefully.
Yikes. Alright, that's one. See. Here. See this one.
Okay, so I was asked via comments on the podcast while I was reading the podcast or the comments from the podcast this week, just kind of get an idea of what everybody thought of the show. To look at the Jax ending for Mortal Kombat 11. Now, the game has not come out yet, so basically I was asked to look at more leaked footage than I've already looked at, which I hope you guys understand. I really don't like spoiling myself on anything, so the fact I went out of my way to do it, hopefully people will appreciate. So I looked at it, I watched it, and there were three things that just came to my mind right out of the gate. First off, very out of character for Jax. Jax is, for those who don't know, as a character, a guy who grew up in America, to our knowledge, never been to Africa, or anything along those lines. For God's sake, in the last game, he wore a bandana strapped around his metal bicep of the American flag. And that's always been a big part of the character. And yeah, it just is. It didn't make just the way that it goes didn't make any sense. So that's the first thing. Second thing is
that's one costume out of like several that you can make Jax wear. You really took the fucking costume thing like way too seriously. Johnny Cage has fucking American flag costumes and has had some in past games and in the last one. Does this mean that Johnny Cage is in fact a big pro-America guy? No! It's just a fucking costume. What? What? And once again, being a soldier and fucking doing your soldier boy in this hole, watch me lean, watch me roll, is not a thing that would preclude you from being in touch with oneself culturally. Also, on top of that, why the fuck would he have to be a person who's ever been to fucking Africa to give a shit about something like attempting to stop slavery? That makes no sense. That is so stupid. That is utterly ridiculous. That is the dumbest thing What? What does that even mean? Why was that included? What does that mean? Man, he's never. What? He wants us to go back in time and stop slavery? That doesn't make any sense. He's never even been to Africa. What? What the fuck is this?
Is that it's largely pandering, and that I think is a big problem that I have. And 3, it
Almost everything, single piece of media, particularly video games, are very guilty of this. They pander to us. Period. The majority of all games that are out are fucking power fantasies. Like fucking shit. This whole series, bunch of power fantasy bullshit. Fucking somehow you're a chosen dude with the chosen powers and you're just so cool and you can overcome anything. You're awesome. Fucking shit. You beat the shit out of people in the martial arts tournament. You're the best. Whoever the character is that you decide to be. Fucking, oh my god. Like, what the fuck, dude? Fucking this shit. Fucking, like, what? Like, fucking this shit. It's hard, but like, at the core of it is like, yo, I'm a badass. Like, once you get it down and you like start kicking ass, like, yo, I'm a badass. The same thing with this shit. Like, what the fuck? Shit, there's a lot of diversity in here. Does that mean Overwatch is pandering or what? I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I just don't know. Oh shit, dude. It seems like it's not the pandering that's the problem. It's about who it's pandering to, right? He doesn't give a shit about pandering when it's obviously like some shit that's pandering to fucking white gamer bros, right? What he's upset at is that this panders to niggers. That's the part that has triggered him. So
really comes across like a white guy trying to run a black character without ever talking to a black person in his life. You know, so let me put it this way. When I looked at this ending, I thought to myself of this one protest of Christina Hoff Sommers' speech where there was this really fat white girl wearing a coat that on the back of it, I think was duct taped on the back of it, said "Stay woke." And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the type of person I would think that would write an ending like this. So basically what it is it starts off innocent enough. Bad guy in the next Mortal Kombat game is the goddess of time, Kronika. And Jax beats her and then gets access to her time abilities. And of course, Raiden says, he warns him, you know, don't mess with time. This could have some very bad side effects. So what Jax does is he goes and he decides to basically right the wrongs of slavery. Now, that in and of itself is not my problem. Because if just about anybody, outside of, say, Richard Spencer, was given a time machine and said, you could correct about 3 to 5 things that happened in history that shouldn't have happened, what would you do? Well, you know, I would imagine that most people would probably pick slavery as one of the 3, alongside the Holocaust, and then, you know, pick your tragedy. You know, you've got Trail of Tears, the Russian Revolution, and the Soviet Union, the Boxer Rebellion, the Red Guards Rebellion, you know, you name it. There's a lot of them. And 9/11 being another one. You know, and that in and of itself is not something that is what I take issue with. It's the idea that this guy who's never lived in Africa, is not an African immigrant, you know, has lived in America his entire life. My recollection, if I'm right, Jax is from Georgia, out of Chicago, and suddenly he's going to create Wakanda by manipulating time. Yeah, you're not pandering to anybody there, are you? And this is what gets...
we don't even know if Jax is the one who created that fucking utopia. He just said that he got it right, meaning that he corrected the timeline in the way that he wanted to. There's no way of knowing like that's what happened. There's no way of knowing if what he made would have been right or wrong. It's a fucking fantasy. Just about every piece of media somewhere panders to somebody somehow. This is not an argument about why a thing is bad. I guess if this is just like how he feels, that's fine. He's entitled to feel this way. It just seems weird. Like I don't know. Oh. Also, what is where and why does he keep bringing up where he's from as if that matters? Like what? What? If he has the power of time or whatever, he can manipulate it as much as he wants. There's no reason why, even if he is just some fucker from Georgia, he'd eventually figure something out. Why wouldn't he figure something out? Is he stupid? Are you saying he's stupid? Is he stupid because he's black? Is he stupid because he's from the South? Is he stupid because he's American? Like, what? Why would he be so stupid that even with infinite power to keep rewinding and retrying and whatever the fuck, he wouldn't figure it out and make like Wakanda or some shit. Also, that shit didn't look like Wakanda. That shit looked like some sort of weird hodgepodge, like Miami and someplace in Africa. Like, I don't know, looked like just about any like city. It has a weird, it's really weird though. Like, so Africa and any sign of modernity equals Wakanda. Just all right.
Gets me, and it's a symptom of a larger problem. Because from what I've heard, the other endings in this game don't have this, like, don't do this at all. Like, Jackie Briggs, his daughter, apparently her ending is really heartwarming in a really weird but sad way, because it has to do with her dad, you know? And then there's other things that don't have any wokeness to them at all. Like, apparently Kano's ending, you see, what's-her-face, Johnny and Sonya's daughter, Cassie's ass, like, in a thong or something like that. Like, you know, there's different things like that. And I will say this. I think that a lot of the outrage around Mortal Kombat 11 is largely manufactured. I think that people are getting angry about things that are largely silly. Do I think? I already commented on the statements of the art director of the game, but that what he had said towards people like, you know, the old school designs of Mortal Kombat characters were somehow offensive. I found that really ridiculous considering it's the same guy who fucking designed them. So what are you doing? You know, and basically the whole thing was don't insult your fans. But the art design, I don't really have much of an issue with. I like the.
What the fuck mean don't insult your fans? He's not insulting his fans. If anything, he's insulting his own designs. You just said that he's the one who designed them. Yeah, he said, you know what? My old shit was kind of fucked. So I changed it. How the fuck you get mad at him for criticizing his own art and saying, nah, man, this shit needs to change. I feel like it's a little fucked up, a little objectifying, a little, not into it. Fuck it. And you're like, don't insult your, like, fuck you. Who the fuck are you to tell, like, what the fuck is this? These are the same fucking crowd that when fucking Sarkeesian and anyone else who's just even a little too fucking progressive for their blood comes around saying in which ways they would like to see pieces of media, especially video games, change it all, they will throw a fucking fit talking about the artist's fucking vision and intent and their artistic integrity. And this fucker's like, offensive. Well, you made them. Don't insult your fans. What? What? All right.
Redesigns. I like how they're pursuing what a lot of other games do in fighting games of, you know, kind of telling the story of the character through the outfit. You know, giving you a sense of their background. You know, making Scarlet look like a mage. They also changed Ermac to do that too, because that's the direction that those characters have gone in. There was one silly thing I saw on Twitter where people were complaining. One character that was leaked was Frost, who is Sub-Zero's student. But people were complaining that character didn't show any skin. Yeah, she's a cyborg. She doesn't have any skin below this. You're technically seeing all of her skin, so I guess that makes her naked. I don't know. So I guess you want giant robot boobs. But that's the problem with outrage, is that it blinds you to context. With that said, this thing with Jax is symptomatic of a larger issue, like I said. And that is that, and Dennis Miller made this point actually today on his sit down with Ben Shapiro, is that it feels like in the entertainment industry that if you do not do something that is woke in your medium for whatever reason, if you do not appeal to that area, you are up next for media crucifixion. And there's a lot of truth in that statement from Dennis Miller, and he'd know better than anybody. And I think that a lot of people in Hollywood feel political pressure in that manner, and just in the entertainment industry in general. And there are two different ways that people react to it. Either A, they give into it, or B, they don't, and they give the finger to it. I am of the opinion that it is like a giant monster that... Actually, no, let's use a different one. How many of you out there in comment land remember Cthulhu from Justice League Unlimited? And how the Thanagarians just stopped feeding him at some point because the cost was too high. It's the same thing here. You might get supposed street cred from your wokeness. Dear God, I sound white right now. And as if you can get whiter than being a pudgy white guy in a metal band t-shirt. But what makes this interesting is that this thing will eat anything. This beast of wokeness. And it will, even those who try to appease it, you will get eaten by it. You know, there's this phrase that goes around among right-wing circles of the left eats its own. It's still true here. Now, if you starve the beast, it has no effect on you. It can't do anything to you. You won't play into its hands. And that, I think, is the wiser thing when it comes to entertainment in general, is not to feed that beast. Because if you continue to do so, it will eat you at some point. People will find a reason to hate you. We've already seen elements of it with Mortal Kombat 11, where there are people complaining about the fact that the game is so violent, forgetting the fact that this is the game that basically necessitated the creation of the ESRB to get the government off of the video game industry's back. Ugh, man, this is not the kind of video that I really want to do with a headache, but I love you guys, so I'm doing it anyway. As it stands, am I going to cancel my pre-order of the game? No. If for no other reason than I promised to review it. With that said, I want to take the whole thing in, because even great games can have cringy moments in them, but the rest of it can be really enjoyable. I'm still looking forward to playing it. To be honest with you, I don't mind the new art style. I don't mind women looking, or I don't mind women that have smaller chests. Not everybody has to have, you know, triple G titties, especially if you're an athletic individual. Those things just don't get that big. I'm sorry. Being somebody who's been around plenty of athletic women in his lifetime, trust me, like, there's not a lot of bust going on there, unless that shit's fake. So, and God looks upon that and goes, I didn't make those. So that's my general thoughts, is that the more you pander to the woke crowd, the more you open yourself. It's like taking government money. You let the camel put its nose under the tent. It will come under the tent and take over. That is the end of the story. So I would hope that NetherRealm Studios would understand that in the future. But we'll have to see if they make a mistake. Do I think this is going to affect the sales, though? Fuck no. This is Mortal Kombat we're talking about. Anyway, my name is Mike Curtis. See you next time. Stay useful.
No idea what. I don't know. Just fucking stupid shit. Oh shit. Wasn't to listen to this angry rant. Yeah, I don't know. But also the weird thing with that is like they have this weird thing with like how people on the right wing are very big like allegiance, like they're like really big on allegiance, like no matter what, right? Like you're just like a run-of-the-mill conservative, you're still gonna like be in a great deal of like solidarity with like a fucking far right fucker, like a fucking neo-Nazi or whatever, as long as he's not like too obvious with his shit, because at the end of the day, like they're about that common goal that they're trying to push forward. They don't give two shits necessarily about any sort of principle or whatever that they espouse. Whatever it is that can keep them in power, it appears, is all that they care about. And then like there's like that, and so they have that really big tight knit thing, and then they're like really weird and surprised about like us on the left not taking shit even from each other, which I think is fine and healthy and what's called being a fucking human being. Like, what the fuck? You're not gonna like everything about everyone, and sometimes someone who you thought you liked is gonna do a thing that's gonna send you over the edge to, instead of, loving them, now you fucking hate them or think they're kind of a dickhead and don't want nothing to do with them. That's normal. Like, that's normal as fuck. Just because we both largely agree that I don't know, we need to like raise our marginal tax rate, does not mean that I am fucking in lockstep, fucking arm in arm. We're buddy buddies to the bitter end. Like, what the fuck? Fuck no. What the fuck type of stupid shit is that? Like, fuck that mentality. Hell no. What's going on? Nothing. Well, something, technically. So, I went and looked up Jack's Tower ending, and then I just was just watching people's reactions and rants to it, and giving my own commentary to it. I'm like a week or so late, but exactly, right? Like oh, we're just, like, to an extent, like, dude, like I don't consider Stalinist or Maoist or fucking just general Marxist Leninist. I don't consider them one of my own. Like, what the fuck? Just because we largely think that that you can't have right a decent, equal, and free society while still doing doing capitalism, doesn't mean that we're all like buddy buddy on like as people, or even on every issue. What the fuck? Bunny and Tankies are reactionary dickheads who call things like this ending actually fucking liberal identity politics pandering that distracts from the real politic and blah 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 blah. And no, okay, those are not my own. Those are not my dudes, okay? They're not mine. You're only eaten if you refuse to be understanding and insist on being a jackass. Doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone. Yeah, typically, like that's well, it is like somebody will criticize someone for a thing, and even if it say it's like that not that big of a deal, you can still like listen out, consider it. Like, I'm not sure, whatever, but I'm sorry if this made you feel that way, and that wasn't my intention, and just move on. Which for most times that seems to be what happens. But then someone, for some reason, they go on some sort of tirade. I feel like people don't go on those tirades or like melt down or whatever and freak out because it's just so much pressure. Like, oh my god, they won't leave me alone. Like, they do that shit because dumbasses like these exist. They flip the fuck out because these dudes exist, and they know that these dudes will fucking flock to their shit. They will buy their shit. They will donate to them on Patreon, or if they have one or start one, they'll support whatever project bullshit they're doing. They'll whatever it is, they will come out in full fucking force. They take those opportunities of being pulled up on woke issues or whatever to virtue signal to these dudes. They could give two shits about what's woke or what's not, or who's this and what's that, or any of the issues that these fuckers talk about. They just know that if they pay lip service to it, that it'll attract this crowd, and they'll pay. Like, yeah. And the same thing can be said about the woke thing, right? This is definitely something of a both side issue. But I'm going to put all cards on the table and say that I think pretty solidly that at least somewhere around 65, maybe 70% of people who talk all that good woke shit, at least believes a nice amount of it, a nice amount of what they say and what, proselyte. What are you looking at? They can't comprehend woke at all. I don't know what you mean by that. Bro, what did I miss? It's just they can't go around and walk it on, bro. I read that already. What are we talking about now? That's what I've seen. For all the shit they talk, I don't know, my dudes. As a fairly, not very online anymore because of our lifestyle. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like what was I gonna say? Nothing? What were we talking about? Nothing what? What happened? Anyway, I was gonna say. But yeah, for all the shit that people talk about, like whatever, the wokey, whatever fucking the woke folks and the left in general about how mean we are. There's some people who are quite honestly pretty gross in terms of past behaviors that in many a leftist circle have been pretty like totally forgiven for their incredibly shitty career. And these are things like actually like, you know, trying to like sometimes like trying to justify fucking lolicon or sexual harassment, and you know, just you know, this is just pick all that bad shit. All that bad shit, yeah, that shit. People all over the left that have been forgiven for those sort of things, okay? It's the reason most likely why people hate you is because you're weird and very aggressive and being a dickhead. Like the whole they're unrelenting and unforgiving, and you might as well not even like it's eesh, yikes. But also that also betrays, like it reveals their hand that these aren't people who actually in good faith give two shits about understanding or even really being in any way markedly a better person, right? Because at the end of the day, their shit's based on, you know, to some extent, like it's literally virtue signaling, right? They're doing this or whatever. They want to do these things so for whoever is watching. They only care about it or care about the idea of causing or being seen a certain way because it's just that. It's just for appearances. They don't actually care. So if the person or people who are upset with them continue to be upset with them, they don't give like they're like, you shouldn't even bothered, blah 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 blah. Not even thinking about like whatever, like the merit of the actual criticism and whether you should probably regret saying or doing certain shitty things. How you should reflect and all this good warm fuzzy stuff. But you know, some people just still weren't having it. Even if after I said sorry. Did you believe that? I said sorry. You know, not about, it's just about them. So honestly, I'm also seeing a fundamental amount of that rearing its ugly head on the left as well. Not good. Not good, guys. We done? No, there's Dusty isn't an okay example of that. Even though there's still a few things he doesn't quite get, still watching him out. People then demand to be forgiven, think they're entitled to it. Usually don't deserve it. I mean, I feel like the idea, like, even if you come into a situation, right, showing showing genuine contrition. Was it contrition or which one is it? Which one is feel bad? What the fuck is contrition? The fuck? What the fuck? That's a P. Oh my god. Yo. state of feeling remorseful. There we go. Genuine contrition. Typically, you don't. I don't know. You don't think of the idea that you feel like you're expecting to hear "I forgive you." It's really weird. Like, that's typically like a sign that like they don't act. Which I guess it's all shitty and stuff. But like for me personally, I just wish people would be fucking honest, dude. You don't give a shit that someone was mad that you fucking slung a slur or were this kind of dickhead or that. Like, dude, just yeah, man, that's me. Whatever. Right? Instead of this goofy bullshit where they do everything they can to hide from, oh my god, everything that they like by definition are. It's so stupid. One gone, gone, gone. Ugh, ordering. Gone, gone, long. All right, that. I do. Yep. That's some dumbass would jump in here while this is going on. Duke it out, as the kids say. Ooh. Check out the video titled Rant. Where you see that at? I don't see anything that's titled Rant. Mm, mm. Where do you see Rant at? Oh, this one? This it? Avatar guy. Oh, I know this nigga. He's from here. Ugh, now you got fucking. Great, now you gonna wreck my fucking recommenders with a bunch of Hotep shit now. Pace Rant. Mm. I felt shoot a lamb for the very first time. This is it. This isn't a part, but this isn't anything really to watch because this is someone. Carson is. Person up here agree with us here, man. Yeah, it's speaking against the biggest assholes. I may as well give it views.
What's going on, people? This is Shoke. No intro or anything like that in this video because I don't have time for that bullshit.
We have the same head.
Let you guys know right now, this video is going
do
to
we?
be
No, I
a
don't
little
think we
bit
do.
political.
I don't think his is even.
I've always tried to avoid
a Corsair
politics on my channel because that is not what we come here for. That is not what we want in our video games, so on and so forth. But this particular controversy within of itself is political. Therefore, I have to, of course, get a little political myself in order to address this issue that is currently going on. And it may seem random, you know, of course, it's nothing Nintendo related. Most of my channels, Nintendo related shit and stuff like that. And I never spoke on it, so it's been a, it's like a pent up thing, right? I've been keeping it in. This controversy pops up. This controversy pops up. That controversy pops up. I don't speak on it. I'm like, I keep my peace. I hold it together. But like, this is just the last straw, man. I have to speak on this. So for those of you who don't know what's going on, MK11 is out now. And you guys know, for those of you who have played Mortal Kombat, or if you haven't, Mortal Kombat has an arcade mode like fighting games are supposed to have, Capcom. It has an arcade mode where you go through with each individual character, and each individual character has their own hypothetical story ending, right? That they have that's specific and unique to them. So we have this character in Mortal Kombat named Jax, who is black. At the end of his ending, and I haven't played it myself, but I'm just telling you guys what happened. At the end of his ending, apparently what happens is that he uses the time powers from the enemy you defeat in order to go back in time and prevent the transatlantic slave trade from ever happening. So he just prevents African slavery from happening. The Atlantic slave trade from happening. That's it. And for some reason, this is a controversy. For some reason, this is a problem. For some reason, this is being touted as racism, as political, as some type of fucking agenda. And it makes
any race
no
would stop a
fucking
major
sense to
event
me
that
now.
caused death and destruction towards
I
their
know
own.
you may be watching this video, dude, who I am currently talking to on Facebook.
Bro, I just said that
just want to
Baraka
let
did the
you
same
know.
thing. Yeah, Baraka did stop
I'll be honest,
his people
you kinda
going to
sparked
safe, man.
this video, but I'm not doing this video, because this isn't directed directly towards you. Because before I did this video, I went around to Twitter. I went around, to all the forums, the fighting game websites, the Reddits, all that stuff, because it's not happening in any one isolated place. Metacritic, different review sites and stuff like that. It's a multiple areas, so this isn't, this isn't me making a rant because of one isolated incident of what one idiot said on Reddit. That's not true. This is actually the thing that's going around. I'm not saying it's the majority of the people, but we do have people actually going around saying this. But I have seen individuals either saying it's racism or it's trying to push things such as white guilt. And it's some type of agenda or something like that. The dude ended slavery, and somehow it's a just think about that sentence. Someone ends a horrific
Black
event
man
that's
stops
happened in real life, and somehow
stop slavery, and white
that's a
people making
problem.
videos criticizing
That is turned
the ending and
into a
showing how mad they
controversy.
are. This
And what's
controversy
crazy
is exactly
that
why I
there's
have
so many
reservations
other
about
things
white people.
that have happened in
I love
our real world
everyone,
history that,
but you just don't know if everybody loves
movies
you.
and games have talked before that no one has had an issue with. You know what I mean? We have so many World War II movies, right? Games where they're killing Nazis, they're killing Hitler, And no one has anything to say about those things. Now, with the exception to that is the last Wolfenstein game that came out, but that was kind of a special case. That was more so a lot of people, one, not knowing what Wolfenstein was and not knowing that was what Wolfenstein was always about, but also, two, that game kind of released during a time where in the political climate, a lot of people on the left wing, the word Nazi is a buzz term. It still is, right? And people are calling people Nazis left and right. And a lot of times these people are Nazis, but sometimes, it kind of gets thrown around too much. It's like, chill, not everyone's a fucking Nazi because they don't agree with this or that, so on and so forth. But I'm not going to get into all of that.
He said, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
From is just Earth. Everything that exists there exists here, exists there. True, that's exactly, that's true. Earthrealm is supposed to be just, the planet Earth.
That these movie directors or these game developers are trying to push German guilt. Not once, but, when you get a black character who does something for his people, and yeah, it's a real world event, but it's still something that's happening in a fucking video game. So it's not that serious in the first place, you know what I mean? But, God forbid we have a black character who decides to use his power to do something to benefit his people. When that happens, for some reason, that becomes a fucking problem. And this goes back to a Facebook post I made a while back, sometime last year. I wish I could pull it up, but it's really hard to search for a Facebook post and shit like that. Maybe it's easy. Maybe they changed something, but last time I tried, it was difficult to find. But I made a Facebook post, I think it was sometime last year, maybe early this year. And I do get political sometimes on my Facebook. I personally don't have a political affiliation myself, but I will, have commentary on the latest happenings and things like that. But the post was basically me saying that I don't understand why people have an issue with things when the issue is specified to a particular type or group of people. So what I mean by that, for instance, let's say, for example, I could say men are treated unjustly in the criminal justice system. I'll say a statement like that. Dudes won't have a problem with that statement. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We do get harsher sentences. We statistically get harsher sentences than women in the justice system. So I said a general, I generalized the group, right? I said, men get treated unfairly in the justice system. No issue. But if I specify it, if I say, black men, whoa, get treated unfairly in the justice system. Holy shit! Stop pushing that agenda. You see what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers kill me with that shit, man. That shit fucking kills me. And the crazy thing is, even if it could be just as statistically true as the general thing that I just said. You see what I'm saying? Men, I could be like, oh, men are treated unfairly. Here's the data. Right on, Shoke. Good shit, man. I'm not saying this. I'm not directing this towards people on my Facebook in particular. I'm just giving you guys an example of what I meant by that Facebook post I had made sometime last year. Like, the issue is people don't like shit specified. Now, I don't know why. I'm not here to present the answer why. But I'm here to ask you motherfuckers who have the issue with people specifying issues. I'm asking you guys. You tell me, because I don't fucking know myself. I want you guys to tell me, because I don't get the thought process. I don't get the mindset behind it. Why, if something is specified, suddenly it's an issue. Because the things I've seen people on Facebook say or on the Reddit with this whole MK11 situation is that they're saying, why didn't Jax just free everybody? Shao Kahn had slaves of all types of shades, and there's other people in the real world.
Anytime you help black people equals
How come
issue.
He didn't end that slavery? It's just white guilt. They push. Shut the fuck up! Shut the hell up! You don't hear how fucking stupid you sound. One, it's a fucking video game. It's a video game. It's a fictional fucking character. Y'all acting like a real motherfucker did this in real life. Y'all acting like Barack Obama done fucked up Shao Kahn and used Shao Kahn's powers to do something for black people. Which would be ironic for you guys to criticize him for doing in the first place, considering one of you guys' criticisms for Obama is the fact that he didn't do enough for black people in the first place, but I'm not going to get into all that. Anyways, like I was saying, what the fuck was I saying? My dog is in the corner, terrified right now. She's scared shitless. She doesn't know what is going on. She thinks I'm upset at her. You're fine, Ebony. I love you. People are saying the reason why this is an issue is because it is specified. So, for some reason, it's crazy, insane, and asinine that someone in a position of power, and again, don't forget we're talking about a fucking video game character. Someone in a position of power is doing something for his people. Why the fuck is that an issue? Now, the funny thing is that, let's say we have one of the characters in Mortal Kombat who's like not a human, let's say Baraka, right? He's Tarkatan, right? If Baraka's ending was Baraka freeing Tarkatans from slavery, that wouldn't be an issue, you see what I'm saying? But like, what's the difference? Like, yes, I understand the difference is, black people are a real thing, and Tarkatans are a fictional, race or whatever. But I still don't see why that would matter, Like, no one would say Baraka's racist, within the Mortal Kombat realm. You see what I'm saying? So like, it shouldn't function that way in real life. Like someone doing something, wanting to specifically, uphold their own, right? Promote their own. Like, if I want to promote, black business, you wouldn't call me like a racist for that. That you would just say that, oh, I'm trying to uplift my community, right? Trying to help out my own community. Like, you wouldn't have a problem with that. You see what I mean?
Who's this person in the background fucking with the dog? This shit funny as hell.
Example or something like that, right? Let me say, let me put it this way. Like, let's say.
What? He funny as hell. I mean, I know he's just trying to get his feelings out, but like, dude, nobody cares. Oh shit. The people who you're ranting at right now, they don't care. They're still in the comments right now giving their same exact dumbass argument. I'll make like a real just standalone video just going over all those points because they keep coming up over and over again. And I know where they came from. They came from the one angry gamer fucking site's article about changing his character, whatever, about the soldier. Like, dude, there were not that many fucking Jax mains, okay, to the point where there were this many people who knew this much and cared that much and were that invested in Jax's fucking story. This is all bullshit. Yeah, from that article, and we'll just go through, read the article. It's good. We're good. Anyway. All right. Yeah, always. Yo, actually, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get on out of here. Actually, thanks, Goran, for coming out. I've been a while. Fuck. Oh, Elm City. Everybody else. All right, see you.